Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Women in Midlife. And today, I am very honored to have this lady here that you see. Her name is Miss Christina Teo, and she will tell us how she took care of dementia patients. Please don't go away. Hi, afternoon. Hi, Christina. How are you?
Hi, afternoon. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. I wanted, to bring you on because I consider ourselves as the sandwich generation, where we have to deal with adult children who doesn't need us anymore. And then we have our new adopted babies, which are our parents, right? And they are getting older. And one of the things that I feel that people don't know enough is about caring for dementia and for nursing care options, especially in Malaysia. So I'd like you to introduce yourself first.
Okay, thank you. I'll take over. Thanks, Karen. Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. A little bit of myself. My name is Christina. I'm a mother of 4 children, 3 of which are young adults, currently pursuing their undergraduate years in their universities, and the youngest one is a teenager.
Okay.
Well, this whole journey of coming here all began when I first started out. My first profession was an auditor. I was with one of the big six. Okay, yeah. Big change. But interestingly, having got my hands dirty in the audit field, it felt like not my cup of tea. I mean, no doubt it was interesting and exciting, but I found out at the end of the day, I just cannot sit still. I think, when I talk of my kids, the elder 2 had learning challenges, as in dyslexia and ADHD and dyscalculia. So very short, a meandering path, I realized, okay, I need to do what you call gap year for myself to see, like, am I cut out for the corporate world as in auditing, or should I venture into something which very much is close to my heart as in teaching? I mean, those days you tell your parents, hey, I want to be kindergarten teacher. I think I tell you, I give you this a sock and a jaw. No way. I mean, kindergarten, I tell you a joke, Karen, when I did a little research on who are the ones to pursue, I went into do the Montessori course, early childhood, because I told my husband that I got married. I said, hey, I really want to do this. It's really close to my heart. Then I realized my mom started to show signs of dementia.
Okay, so
I'll tell a little bit more.
So tell us, what are the signs to look out for?
Yeah, well, mom is a very healthy, what you call energetic grandma. She was a nurse, very qualified, accolades of praise, you name it, constantly on the move. She walks like, I don't know how many kilometers, maybe she can run, I don't know how many marathons. So she's very active. But strangely, in the year 2016, actually prior to that, she went off to Australia for a while, about 2 months. And I realized after she came back, there was a little change in her. Suddenly, very quiet, and then don't talk much, just don't want to strike conversation. And the most scary part was when she started to say, like, I don't think I want to cook, I don't know how to cook. I'm like, it's a bit strange, because she's a good cook. I mean, we are from Malacca, Peranakan background, Peranakan people, awesome, delicious food.
Yes.
Yeah. So suddenly she said, you cook? I don't want to cook. I'm like, Mom, why? Do you need help? Do you want me to help you to prepare or what? But she just didn't want to do it anymore. It was like a frightening task. And then she will, you notice something is not quite okay, not that it's worse in his, worst case scenario, but you see her standing, then she got this blank stare, and then she pauses, like trying to, internalize something, like trying to recall something. So it became, over a period of time, a very arduous task. Like cooking is like simple things that she used to cook, don't want to do anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that was one. And then, of course, the classic is, I mean, everyone will notice, very recent, even like I tell you, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes ago. And then she keep asking. Then there was, it's not one-off, but it's been pretty consistent in this particular behavior, like, asking and then can't remember. And then as usual, typical, cannot find things and then misplace things. So this was becoming more apparent and I realized, red flag, need to do something. So did a little more digging and partly it helped a lot when my father-in-law, actually my father-in-law was the first one where I really started digging. My father-in-law had vascular dementia. He had a fall and then after that, whoa, I tell you, it from a normal person and he became like, wow, what happened? That really shocked me. I mean, a man who could drive his Mercedes every day to Genting Highlands suddenly has been reduced to like, I can't do anything anymore. And one day he drove out without knowing where he was going. Thank God he landed somewhere safe. You were absolutely running frantic, driving everywhere, even driving on the way to Genting Highlands to find out where he went. So thank God the police came and they managed to trace him. Yeah, so thank God for that. So basically from there, because of my father-in-law, I realized I don't know what is this dementia thingy. Never heard of it. I mean, ask about autism and everything on special needs, no problem. But dementia, Alzheimer, no, doesn't ring a bell. It's like not a ring a ding ding kind of thing. Like, oh, this is a whole different ballgame. I'm like, I was a bit concerned. Like, what are these? It's like, if I may put it, in my understanding, special needs of the old age. Like you have autism and Down syndrome and whatnot. So I realized, I don't think I want to be alone because I always believe in support group. When my kids were young, I joined support groups. Mother support group, autism support groups. I was very, very connected. I did not, like you say, no man is an island. I do not think one should travel alone, the road alone. It's very, very dangerous. And it also helps you. It's like providing you a scaffolding that you don't journey alone. And you don't feel like, and then most importantly, don't throw a pity party. That was the one thing I want myself. No. We are in the information age. There's internet and whatnot. You have to dig. So my parents come to me, what is autism? What is it? I'm like, hello, there's an internet. Just go take your fingers and fiddle it and ta-da, tons of it. Just like, when I found out dementia, lots of checklists, you go to reliable sources, the sites, I think you can get a whole wealth of information there.
Right.
Yeah. So that helped me. So apart from that, I decided, okay, time to move on. I decided to join the Alzheimer's support group under the Alzheimer's Disease Foundation Malaysia, ADFM, the abbreviation.
So this is after your father-in-law's case, right?
Yeah, that got me started. At that time, my mom didn't show signs yet, not yet. My father-in-law first. So having been in a support group, I must say, I've been just a silent, observer. All the message threads, day in, day out, when I read and read and read, even though I didn't input, I was just observing, though I was part of the group. And I garnered a lot of knowledge and, even videos were sent. So it's like, you get the experience, like you say, a smart person makes mistakes and learns from mistakes, but a wiser person learns from other people's mistakes, so to speak.
Exactly.
So I learned and like, wow. And that helped me to give me a real heads up and, point me to right direction. Like, okay, if I have a situation, how do I troubleshoot? So these people actually, with their daily inputs, have really tremendously educated me. And I would like to put that. Very important. Yeah, the support group helped me a lot. It allowed me to breathe, in every aspect. It covered from like, I don't know, materials you use to, for cognitive, spurring or even equipment that you use, you want to mobilize, like maybe not a wheelchair, like, you have this thing from China, all this, they have all this stuff. So I learned a lot, even beds that can recline and all a host of things. Basically, I became like, people say, hey, how come you know so much? Oh, thank God I joined the support group. Not that I claim to be superly qualified. No. I humbly tell you, it's because of the support group.
No, that's the thing about having that kind of support. Like you said, it's clearly about, yes, I don't know everything. Therefore, I join a support group first as a moral support, and then to learn, because that's the idea here that I'm bringing. I hope the community will appreciate, is that you are sharing with us what you have done. Hopefully someone who's watching this will say, oh, I noticed this from my mom, or I noticed this of my dad, and start looking for, okay, I should go and find out more about the support group and get, information that is best suited as a caregiver, right? So Just a quick question. When you notice those symptoms from your mom, is there a test that can be done to verify that, or basically there's no testing needed?
Normally the general rule of thumb is if you go to a gerontologist, like me being a busybody, I being a volunteer, because sometimes people call me, hey Christina, we need your help. So I got this distress call one day, asking to help a couple, a husband and wife, no kids. So long story short, I went there. Oh my God, the whole house. I mean, this uncle was a brilliant guy. He's a scientist, drawing a pension almost close to 5,000. When I visited them, the house, I tell you, I nearly flipped. Why I nearly flipped? The whole floor was darkened with, I don't know, some kind of pasty stuff. You know, it's hardened already. It was traces of feces and urine all on the floor. Basically, they did not know that, it's like, we talk about urbanization. It's like, I've got my stuff. Don't bug me. I, me, myself, I'm in my entire own world. I form a cocoon, so to speak. So they were in a period of time, the day when uncle retired, till then I found them. It's like they were slowly drifting, into Alzheimer's and, or even the wife psychosis. So I brought them for an MRI scan, brought them to the gerontologist. As a volunteer, I even wrote my son in and said, hey, son, you got to help me. I can't bring uncle to the toilet. You have to help me. So I wrote my son in. That's why now he's also in healthcare doing occupational therapy. So he helped me. One lady, how to handle two old folks. So I said, cannot. I wrote my son in, so brought them for tests. Reason why for the test, because we needed to find whether the uncle was mentally sound, not under duress that, I force you, you have to make a decision. Because this family had no next of kin, nothing, no contact whatsoever. So anyway, it was not me alone. There was a group of other people, the president of the condo, the lawyer who helped them do SMP, a whole host of good, kind-hearted people, good Samaritans, if I may use that term, came together. We all came together, ransacked. I use the word ransack because we need to find the next of kin. So we found their relatives, one in Canada and one in New Zealand. So we needed them to say, hello, this is where we are. We need, the next steps. What do you want to do for your relative? Yeah. So when I brought the uncle and auntie for the MRI scan, I tell you, this is the first time in my life, brought them there and I got the results. The gerontologist, okay, come, Christina. You're a very good volunteer. Come sit down. I interpret the result for you. I said, okay. So when I saw the MRI scan, my goodness, the brain was hollow, black. I'm like, what happened to the gray matter cells?
So
It's
there's
the
a
hippocampus.
some sort to the brain. The brain actually,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, these are people who are educated. I'm not talking not illiterates. I mean, uncle is a scientist, good pension. Auntie was former secretary, but how did it deteriorate until like that? Where did all the gray matter cells go? It really shocked me, and that was like, actually it's the big umbrella. Underneath that umbrella, you have the different types. You have Parkinson's, you have Lewy body, you have vascular, you have Alzheimer's. So there are other little sub groups. So when you suspect that, then of course the gerontologist say, okay, no worries, we will get your loved one to do a test. So I accompanied the uncle and auntie when they did the test. And even my own mother, she happened to be selected under the government. They're doing some longitudinal tests for for statistical data. So when I saw them do the test, it's for cognition, whether you can recall and all the things that you think logically. So that test will help. Also is important so that we can draw some, to some extent, some conclusion, so to speak.
Okay. So in this sense, what about is there, as I know it, there's actually no cure per se, but there's just maybe the slowing down of it, just the slowing down of the progression. So I've also read that you can do a lot of brain exercises to keep the brain healthy. What are some of the common that you think someone who's elderly should do on a daily basis to keep the brain going?
Yeah. Keeping brain going in terms of cognition, yes, necessary. But I would like to give you this word, which I believe one thing is the lifestyle. How you curate the lifestyle is important. Because when people see me and ask, hey, your mother is 81, but she's like normal. Yeah. I mean, when you don't ask her to do the little things that you can identify as dementia or whatever, you won't know. People say, are you crazy? Your mom is okay. I say, yeah, thank you, very good. But I think it's important, the lifestyle, meaning I actually am like a headless chicken. I run like a taxi driver. I will bring my parents, go socialize, come. In our church, we have this thing, Golden Years Fellowship. I wanted to interact. I said, you stay alone at home and you stay at the four walls. That's not going to be good, because social interaction enables the brain to even activate even further. Because when you have to form connections and discussions, your brain starts actively to fire like, hey, what are we going to talk? What's the
Right.
topic? So when the drawing upon these things causes the mind to like, okay, let's get fired up, rather than sitting very docile like that, inactive and very dormant. No, no, no. So
Okay.
that is one. And then of course I will bring my
Exactly.
mom, okay, let's go eat the beggar's chicken. I will drive all the way up to Ijo. And I didn't know my geography is so bad, like, where is it? 45 minutes from BJ. Wow. But I would bring her, because we, the group, the elderly group, say, come, Christina, let's go. Okay. So I'll bring her everywhere. I'll bring her to the beach, to the hills, wherever. And even I'm also involved in helping refugees and orang asli. So
Wow.
as you know, my job in early childhood, so I specialize in reading and helping those who have challenges. So I do workshops, I travel. So she follows me, she tags along.
Okay.
Very, my co-worker lah. My mom has become my co-worker. And
Okay.
another thing I want to note, to tell you, during the pandemic, oh, I tell you, it was really difficult because always stay at home, right?
Yes. Yes.
That part was challenging, and my mom got restless. I said, oh dear, I said, God, I need a solution to this. And I was scrolling through the job. I said, hey, during pandemic, remember lockdown, 10 kilometer radius, you cannot travel at that time, at that period. I saw this ad, hey, set up a play school in a certain place in KL. I said, hey, why not? Let's give it a shot. Even though it's MCO, nothing is impossible. So I shot, long story short, I got the job and I managed to travel with a certain letter given that I could set up the school, because these people had, ways of doing it, because I needed to set up for the school. Then my mom came along with me, and that helped. During a 2-year period, I was traveling up and down
Right.
with my mom. So that helped her. And then she interacted with the kids, and had fun. Actually, sorry, backtrack a bit. Before that, when we were in American school, I told my American bosses, when I realized my mom had these, symptoms, I asked them, is it okay my mom comes into, school to be my co-worker? I tell you, my American bosses were amazing. They said, bring her on, go ahead. I mean, they're open-minded. I mean, how many employees will say, hey, you can bring your mommy along? They didn't say like, no, they like welcome her with loving arms, and they
Wow.
cheered her. I mean, honestly, if not because of that, it kind of like, as you say, manage and stalled it. She was actively reading to the children, helping them, when they had, trouble doing some stuff. So constantly active. So for 7 years, 6 years, she was with me in school, and
Wow.
that helped. So it like you said, it kind of, controlled and stalled it. Yeah, of
Right.
course, the other thing, importantly, nutrition. So
Of
I
course.
gave a lot of nuts, virgin coconut oil,
Okay.
blueberries, you name it, it's all in research. Yep.
Right. So I mean, bottom line is the social aspect and keeping them mentally active,
Yeah,
socially active, and
correct,
but okay. So there are situations that some actually retreat so much that they don't want, they fight you on going out, which is
correct.
the case, which I as well know now. Some of the things is they just don't want to go out, and that's bottom line, and they become very aggressive as well. What would you do if that's happened? Yeah.
I had instances of other people asking me for advice. So normally, it's a little bit on psychology. It depends on how you coin your sentence. You got to be very, if I may use the word, creative. It's like, I don't want God. Then you say like, we need to do banking. Your money is stuck, how, hey, cannot, must go on. No. Then they, okay, coming. You know what I say? Something that you can draw that is of urgency, and that then you realize, because the recesses of the mind will remember of those very important matters. Like I give you an example, when I helped one auntie, she came in to the retirement resort, and 86 years old, well-to-do family. So every morning I tell her, auntie, we have to do name writing. She asked me, I do name writing for what? She cannot write any, but she got very nice handwriting. I mean, the children showed me in the past. So I asked her, just write. She said, write for what? That kind of aggressive face. I say, auntie, I tell you lah, the money is stuck in the bank. You cannot sign your name. How the money going to come out? Oh, okay. She wrote every day. It was her daily task. I mean, when I decided to look at it, when I realized, that's why I realized Montessori approach revisited and used again for aged care. Because when I
Right.
first like, hey, this is quite demeaning. How can you use early childhood for aged care? That's like a bit too much, isn't it? Right?
Right.
You know, I mean, when you talk about elderly, let's use the words dignified, respect, and honor.
Right.
No doubt is, I mean, as we say, second childhood, but then again, you must be very careful. Because sometimes when I think, if I curate a activity program for the elderly, I would make sure that it's got to be dignified. You know, I learned the term called coloring for mindfulness. I said, what on earth is that? Coloring for mindfulness? Because I used to give the auntie the cute duck, the ball, you know, because cataract, glaucoma, how to see. So
Right.
I thought some of those who are more, the eyesight is still okay. So I gave them this very complicated, what you call coloring for mindfulness. That challenged them. So in my search and trial and error and keep on, like I said, keep moving forward and keep improving, it helped. So it taught me like, oh, okay, these are different things you can do to help the elderly. So it's a whole host, if I may call it, senior school.
Right. So which is what
Honestly,
you're doing now, correct? That
that's right.
so your center is really like a kindergarten of some sort, but for the elderly.
Yeah, yeah,
So
correct.
would you like to tell the audience where is your center so that they can explore that option?
Yeah, I've been given the opportunity thanks to the people, the management in commune care in Bandar Sri Permaisuri. Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, it's not easy to work with everybody. You know, not everybody will say like, nah, I don't think your idea. But honestly, over here, they have been so open. They say, Christina, all yours. I'm like, wow, I'm
okay.
very happy. No, I mean, when people allow you, this is why not? And
Right.
it's for the benefit of the people.
All
You know what
right.
I mean? So
Yeah.
I see good positive feedback. I love feedbacks. You know, that's it's important to improve yourself. Where I went wrong, where I need to troubleshoot that kind of stuff. Yeah. So they gave me the opportunity, like Christina, go ahead. So I'm known as the Montessori activity facilitator.
Okay, so see how wonderful your journey as a someone who wanted to take care of your children and then evolved because you took up a program to assist your children, and then now it's become such a big part of your life now, and then
Yeah.
helping the elderly. And I think that's what I think I want to share with the audience is that you have reinvented yourself, number one. You have open up to learning and change because you kept changing at every phase of your life to suit the situation. And I just love your energy, your bubbliness, and your love for your parents is so apparent. I mean, I take care of my parents as well. I have to learn a thing or two from you because I guess for me, I'm just not patient compared to you, and I probably have to learn to be a lot more patient with them, and learn to twist it to make it sound more gentle and nice to them and make them get up more and
Yeah.
do. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I thank you so much for your time. And I hope that I can invite you again for a second talk because I think we haven't even touched on other things as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I even touch about how I got into studying all of this. Now in the next session, there's a
yes,
lot to talk
next
about.
question. Yes,
Yeah.
always. Yeah. So thank you for your time, Christina.
Yep.
And I will leave all the description for our audience so that they can reach out to you if they need to send their parents to this center of yours.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.